Hey everyone, Genome here, coming at you with another subscriber contest. Well, this is definitely the season for contests, so like I said before, who am I to argue with the season? So this contest is actually for Filgamesh's 100 subscriber contest. So first off, I like that name, it's a great handle, Filgamesh, I like it. So let's just go right on to it now. First we'll go over the rules. He's got 5 of them here. He's got 1, be subscribed. 2, live within the US or Canada. I know shipping does get expensive. 3, be at least 18. That's not an issue. And 4 is kind of the crux of the whole contest, and that is, sorry, my finger never works very well. Do make a video showing at least 10 comic covers that you really like, but you've never shown in another video before, so that makes things interesting. And 5 is to post a comment on the original video, letting them know that, hey, the video's done. Send me a link, you know. So, all right, pretty easy to do. So the ones I'm about to show you aren't necessarily my favorites or anything. I just really like them. But since there's the restriction of only showing ones that you haven't shown before, or maybe you don't plan on showing in the future, I had to take that in consideration. So, you know, while these, I really do enjoy these, and these are some of my favorites, they're not necessarily my favorite top 10 or whatever, but anyway, for the purposes of this video, we won't delve too much into nuance, right? So let's get down to it, shall we? I'm going to use my buddy Wolfgang here as my aide, him and Sleeping Lionheart, so this thing doesn't keep falling over on camera, because I did a test run and it fell over quite a bit. So he is my back ring, my rock. I'm gonna kind of angle this way too for B-roll. All right, so here we go. So first off, we have Predator Cold War #1 with cover by Brian Stelfreeze. What if I can get that in a little closer? Be right back. And hopefully you can see it. One of the reasons I like this cover, not just because it's freaking awesome and it's Predator of course, is he gets the points and sharpness just right. If you look at the tips of his claws and all that, and the tips of his wrist blades, they actually look sharp and pointy. You know, a lot of artists have a lot of trouble with that. And I've even noticed that in a lot of other Predator covers, that the ends of the blades were much too big and fat looking. So these look like they're made for piercing. So I like it. Just a small little tidbit there. Gonna stick my fingers to those things. So just all in all, a great cover, and you know, Dark Horse had great cover artists, so what are you gonna do, right? Next up, we have Superman #422 by Neil Adams and Dick Giordano. And just such a cool cover, man. It's, let me back up just a little bit here. I love the kind of the very minimalist highlights of red in Superman's eyes there, or Monstro Superman's eyes, and of course the banner up top. So just think it's a really cool one, and a lot different from what you normally see out of Superman covers. Like it a lot. Okay, next we have, what do we have next? Daredevil #297. This one's by Lee Weeks. And one of the interesting things about this cover, other than being freaking awesome, I love Daredevil in the background back here, is the rain effects. I'll try and get this one to stick over here somewhere so you can see it a little better because of the lighting and all. But yeah, I love the rain effects off the bodies here. This is done very well, and off the other objects as well. And plus it's just, like I said, a very cool scene. I'm not normally a Daredevil fan, but this cover is just really incredible. Next up, we have Batman #464, and this one actually has a little bit of sadness attached to it, being that Norm Greyfogle is now gone. But this is among some of the great covers I think that he's done for the series. What I really find interesting about this one is you'll see the lightning effects in the background and the lighting like across the character's hands, and how the rest of the characters are pitched in shadow, really hard to see. So there's a good interplay of light here, which I think takes a lot of talent to pull off. And I think it's just really cool stylized, you know, a monstrous bat versus Man-Bat, I believe it was in this one too. So very cool. Next up, we got a really oddball one. This is Silver Heels #2, and a cover done by Scott Hampton. Oh man, I can't really get close enough to do this one justice, but this album is, always liked it. I have all 3 of them. Think of the first series here, and this is definitely my favorite of them all. it's just, I only know what he's trying to fight through, but it's just incredible, man. The color, the action, the way the joints are bent just right and all, it's just a great, great cover. Definitely check this one out if you can. All right, next up we have a cover by probably my favorite artist inker duo of the 80s, period, and that's Mike Zeck and John Beatty. We're talking about Secret Wars number 10, the iconic one where Doom steals Beyonder's power. I think first he steals Galactus's power, and then he steals Beyonder's power, so he had himself a pretty good day. So, I mean, it's just incredible, the interplay of flesh and costume here, along with lines, shadows, blood. Please excuse him in the back. I guess he wasn't too thrilled about it. Let me set him back up. Sorry, Mr. Lim, he got jealous hearing me say that. But yeah, just a great overall iconic cover on a series that had a lot of really good ones. Next up, you know we couldn't leave Mr. Lee off the list, but we have a Jim Lee cover, and I won't use the standard fare for him, but I'm going to go ahead and use X-Men number 280. And I love the title of this one, Pyrrhic Victory. It's quite a bit of nuance behind that one in history compared to most comic fare, but just iconic. You know, watching I guess that's the Cyclops Tears of Rage, or the equivalent of Cyclops' Tears of Rage. Just a good, overall good cover of his. I mean, not like he doesn't do bad covers. I mean, come on, we're talking about Jim Lee here. But anyway, I digress. Next up, we have Aquaman number 1 by Curt Swan and Al Vey. This is kind of a 5-part miniseries that was released, I think, simultaneously with Legend of Aquaman back in the late 80s. Which is a really cool series too, by the way. I'm not sure, once again, I'm not sure the lighting's too good in this. I should move this other light over here, but I'm afraid I'll get flare off of the light. Let me see if I can't get a little better light. Alright, I think that lighting's a little bit better, so what I'll do is at the end I'll just run the covers back over there again, because you can see the color and stuff much better, and I'll just do a quick recap. But I like this Aquaman a lot, because you'll see a series of Aquaman breaking out of this prison, basically, but the prison itself is like a curio box full of stuff. I just think it's really cool, and I love the little sequence there of him breaking out at the end. Just a cool one. This whole series had really good artwork, by the way. Next up, I mean, you know, there's no comics, especially in my Copper Age, whatever, which is my favorite. There's no top 10 list going to be shown without at least 2 Jim Lee covers, right? So on this one we have Punisher War Journal number 8. With Damage. So one thing that I find really interesting about this cover is it has sort of a pixelated purple or lavender kind of background, which is very odd. You don't see that too often, and it pulls off so well here. It contrasts very well. It's a lighter shade of dark, but it lets a Punisher contrast very well against this backdrop. So it's just an iconic cover. It's one of his more famous ones, really, for the Punisher run, and deservedly so. All right, we're getting down to it. Basically, number 10. And possibly one of my favorite covers on this list, if not my favorite, I'm not sure. Tough to say. But once again, it involves the dynamic duo of Mike Zeck and John Beatty. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Captain America number 286 with Deathlock. So one of the really cool things about this cover is if you look really closely, I mean, of course you're going to look at the cover, but there's Cap right there in the crosshairs on the reticule. So, I mean, that looks just really cool. And there's so much detail in this, between water dripping out of the end of these broken pipes and water dripping down Deathlock himself and all. It's just a great cover. I mean, you gotta love Mike. I mean, you gotta love Mike Zeck and all. And I mean, how can you not? He was one of the few guys in the 80s that can pull off a really serious looking look, if that makes any sense. You know, a lot of it was a little more exaggerated or cartoonish, even in the 80s. But Zeck had a very mature look about a lot of his stuff, so. All right, there's the top 10. I'm gonna throw it runner-up in there, you know, and Almost Ran. I almost had it in there, but the other ones kind of pushed it out. And that is gonna be Punisher Annual number 2. Everyone knows I have a Punisher fetish anyway, so I hate to always use that. But this is covered by Bill Reinhold. Pretty sure he goes by Will, but just an awesome cover. I mean, look at that. First, once again, you got the kind of an odd colored backdrop with almost a pinkish hue back there. Well, that's a kind of George Costanza moment, right? But you know, here we go. If you look at all the little details in this, the arm bent like that is actually stronger. I learned that at Aikido many years ago and then submission wrestling. But so it makes sense for two very seasoned hand-to-hand fighters like that to be holding things like that. We got both Punisher's eyes here are directed right at Moon Knight's face. And I think a lot of artists make the mistake of just putting his eyes straight forward. It looks like there's a lot of tension throughout Moon Knight's body here, trying to fight off this this attack from the Punisher. So yeah, it's just an awesome cover, and definitely worthy in a lot of lists. I just didn't quite make the cut in this one. So there you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and run on B-roll just the rest of them one by one because I got better lighting this time. I should have checked it closer when I first started. So here we go. And I'll go ahead and read them off again. We got Predator Cold War #1 by Brian Stelfreeze. Superman number 422 by Neil Adams and Dick Giordano. We have Daredevil number 297. It's Lee Weeks. We have Batman number 464 with Norm Grayfogle. We got Silver Heels number 2 by Scott Hampton. We have Secret Wars number 10 by Mike Zeck and John Beatty. I always got to throw John Beatty's in there because, like I said, it's the duo. It's like Rick Levins and Daniel Blondie. They just work so well together. We got X-Men number 280 by Jim Lee. We got Aquaman number 1 of the 5-part series there, or 5-issue series by Kurt Swan and Al Vey. We got Punisher War Journal number 8 by Jim Lee. And we have Captain America number 286 by Mike Zeck and John Beatty. And for the runner-up, we have Punisher Annual number 2 by Bill Reinhold. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. Make sure to get over to Phil Gamesh's YouTube page, and I'll put something down here so you can go find it easier, and I'll have something in the description as well that links directly to the contest. Make sure you get over his page and give him a like and a subscribe. I look forward to seeing everyone else's submissions for the contest, and I also want to personally thank Wolfgang himself for channeling his inner Lionheart and helping me out with this little impromptu broadcast. All right, well, like I said, thanks again for watching. And until next time, this is Genome, out.